model metu kos. Metu ni.
History of the Javanese immigrant to Suriname. We call it indentured labor because it was forced labor.
Diturut cerita dengan wong tuaku nang Jawa mengarep budal ing pasar sajane. Ana sawijining gapura. Mlebu nang gapura iku jerone wis nang kapal wisan. Kudu kepengin mulih. Ora mulih ora iso mulih, mung mubeng nang sakjroning kapal. Banjur saiki weruh nek njaba malih segara. Ya mulih adus tangisan, padha adus tangis kabeh.
But not to help them with a good living condition, but to use them and misuse them as slaves.
Budaya tradisional Jawa seperti selamatan masih ada yang menjalankan dan berusaha mereka untuk mengembangkannya.
This morning, the shining sun brings a sense of warmth. Sense of warmth that can be felt even at a local traditional market. This is sauna. Local traditional market located at the city center of Paramaribo in Suriname. There's something different and unusual. Here, we can listen to how conversations between vendors and customers are being made in Javanese. Some snacks being sold here also come from Indonesia, especially from the island of Java.
Nggih, Pak. Nggih enten, Pak. Oh, wis entek, Pak. Pun telas. Sanjang kali kula niki ae mau atem ngene suni. Boten enten pun telas.
This is the city of Paramaribo, the capital city of Suriname. Some old buildings here are of ancient Dutch architecture. There's a reason behind it. The existence of buildings with Dutch architecture are inherited by the colonial era. According to history, the Dutch launched an expansion to other countries, including Indonesia. Spices were the main goal. Not only that, they also moved Indonesians, especially those in Java Island, and turned them into laborers. They were taken to other countries to work as laborers, promised of better earnings and shelter. Suriname was one of the designated countries of these workers. This is Sabto Pawiro. From his name, we can tell that he's a true Javanese. Sabto Pawiro is a puppet master, something that he's been doing since young. His love for wayang is his way to showing his pure intention to preserve such ancestral heritage.
Dalang itu pak aku kan biar dalang. Kai cilik aku cak melu ada pak aku dalang. Aku cak cilik, burung dia tunung perkara. Oh dijak rono rene tadi suwe-suwe iso nyandak sithik-sithik. Saenggo gede terus duwe wigati karo wayang. Ya toh? Anane wis seneng karo wayang iki kae cilik. Manes dulurku rene sing seneng karo wayang. Sing seneng wayang iki mung aku dhewe. Saenggo seperti ini. Lakon sing disenengi karo wong Suriname iku ajek aku nglakoni kuwi ajek. Siji Semar bangun kayangan. Loro lakone Dewa Ruci. Ya liyane ya apik, Mas sing okah gelem kuwi. Amat kau iku ana isine to.
Sabto said the lack of interest from the young generation towards wayang today is something that concerns him. He said that Java culture in Suriname has great chances of uniting Java community and to have it part of the Suriname culture itself. Some say that cultural events are used for political purposes, but Sabto denied such allegations as he lives as a true humanist.
Tahun swidak. Iku cek rame-ramene kabudayan Jawa in. Siji ana jenenge tayub. Tayub ku karo ledek. Ledek isih akeh. Angger wong apa ndek perlu perkawinan apa-apa mesti tayuban. Rame. Nek ora ngono ludrukan. Ya rame. Nek ora ngono ande lumut. Lan ijik jaman biyen ning kene jek kelingan aku ketoprakan. Ana meneh biyen aku metuki iku jenenge menore. Menore, iya.
In terms of population, the number of Javanese descendants in Suriname today is quite large, about 30%. The most population are Indian and African. Just like any other country, political competition here is dynamic despite the majority of ethnic group would usually win. This also goes to Javanese people living here who also take part in the country's politics. He is one among a couple of Java descendants involved in the political arena. Paul understands the Javanese people in Suriname becomes a potential vote that could help him become a party leader. Not only that, he also holds true to Java culture tradition.
Iku penting sangat niku kagene ambeki kita punika kados nginjing rame-rame. Mangke dalu nggih slametan, mangke dalu punika teng Marimbir, mangke mandho jam 8 punika slametan. Matur nuwun kalih sing kuwaos punika saderengipun kita punika asal kala ngaran ngugemi ngemuti ngelingi anggenipun sakmengke bapa nenek moyang kita dugi wonten ing Suriname. Adat punika mboten belajar, adat punika kedah ningali, kedah nggadahi perasaan kajawan. Nah, tapi mboten kedah perasaan kajawan, mboten ngertos adate. Lunggal-lungguing pripun nak mlebet teng griya kula nuwun, punika andap asor, ya itu lumrahe kemten Jawi nak enten tiyang spa punika teng andap niku nak mlampah derek langkung simbah punika niku kedah ugem niku adate, Pak. Nak enten nak perlu punika sambatan, gotong royong, sumbangan punika amargi nak sumbangan punika ngrencangi ngongkosi ragat-ragatipun. Amargi yen gadah tayub, gadah mantenan, sunatan punika ragate kathah. Dados kita punika atas tiang Jawi tumut nyumbang. Diteken Pak namine Somoharjo. Lah mangke nak kula gadah perlu terus kula undang sampeyan kita bantu bangsul sumbanganipun.
This is called Slametan, a ceremony held by Java people whenever they host a major event.
Allahumma hamdan sakarina diwakini amma wajika fi mazidahu Allahumma kawil islam wa muslimina muslimat wa minna wa minnat wa sayyidul kalam Muhammadin wa bidin malakaru nasirin birukmatika kamaru ini Allahumma inna nas'aluka salamatan fid din wa afiyatan fil jasadi wa qiyadatan fil qawli wa barakatan fil rizqi wa taubatan qabla al-maut. Slametan is still well preserved here as its people form of gratitude towards the Creator. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma tawil kumurana wa su'adana wa asiyal adawa ila khairik. Today, Javanese descendants in Suriname held an event called the Day of Wong Jowo, a people's gathering event to celebrate the first arrival of Java people to Suriname on August the 9th, 1890.
There's a monument built in the Komawina district of Marienburg.
This is school wat begeleid is onder leiding van
Not only Java cultural art performance, Javanese here also showcase a number of accessories like batik cloth and some culinary dishes that can even in Java Island itself are rare to find.
Ya gumantung sangka generasine saiki ya. Amarga generasi saiki mau wis beda banget karo mbiyen. Karo meneh sing simba-simba, bapak-bapak sing turunan saka Jawa, sing oke wis ora ana. Sing oke kabeh wis bali ya ning ngarsane sing kuwasa. Dadi niki cuma mung garik turane tiba ning anak putu ning buyut. Menawa awake dhewe tiba ning canggahe barang. Dadine Jawane nang kene sing oke nek sing ora padha gelem belajar ya saiki campur-campur omongane sing oke. Karene aku yo mulai didik-didik karo sing nom-noman padha ae nek meneme awake dhewe nek dina Senin malam Selasa awake dhewe ngudar kawero. Ya kanggo ngudar kawero goleki intisarine tembung-tembung iki mau. Amarga ning Suriname kene meneh agama Jawa ora mung sitok kanggone ling tak lakoni ora, nang kene ana telung werna. Nang kene ana agama Jawa sing rahayu. Ya. Ana sing sabta dharma, ana sitok meneh sarita wujud, telung werna. Kabeh ya sarana asmane sing kuwasa ning tembunge beda-beda. Ning nek bawanggokku pinuji asmane Gusti Yang Agung, Pangeran Kawula, liyane ya Hongilahing ana ngono. Lah liyane ya atas kersaning pangeran kang kuwasa. Ngono. Ya kabeh turunan Jawa, bangsa Jawa ning ana beda-bedane. Ya sangka iki mau kabeh ya sangka rumangsaku ya. Nek tak didik, tak teliti ya gawan sangka Jawa mrene. Kene ngomongake manggal
This is the daily life of Javanese people in Suriname. Socializing is becoming an integral part. There's an interesting story of how Java people first came to Suriname.
Nang Jawa mung arep budal ning pasar sakjane. Wong budal nang pasar, banjur ning pasar iki mau ana sawijining gapura. Ning gapura iku nalika dileboni ora ngerti nek mlebu nang gapura iku jerone wis nang kapal wisan. Dadine kapal iki mau di ronce-ronce kang supaya menungsane gak ngerti nek jero iku kapal. Ngarep iku dikuweni apik-apik ngono. Dadine sing ngetutke iku anggite wis ning pasar wae. Ning jero yo nek tontonane nek bawakane ya budaya ya gamelan sak piturute ana kabeh. Dadine sing mlebu kono wis seneng. Ning ora ngerti nek mlebu ning kapal. Banjur wis ana critane bapakku dhewe, banjur wis ana 5 dina kudu kepengin mule. Ora mule ora iso mule, mung mubeng nang sakjroning kapal. Banjur saiki weruh nek njaba malih segara. Ya mulih adus tangisan, padha adus tangis kabeh. Ning wis ora iso bali meneh ora iso metu saka kapal iku, banjur terus gawa tekak nang ning sakjroning Suriname isih medhun ning liya negara dhisik. Ning sing liyane diduk-dukke nang liya negara ning sing barakane bapakku iki mau lan mbahku didukke nang Suriname, bumi Suriname. Tadi ini nang bumi Suriname terus banjur didala nang Pernangsi Marimborek. Kowe tau teko nang Marimborek. Lah iku mau ning penasine kono ning gilingan tebu, nandur tebu, pabrik tebu kanggo gawe gula.
Pasar, Pak. Apa ya?
Iku aku belajar sampai aku dhewe golek-golek dhewe supaya aku bisa enten bener-benerake wong iku ndunung-ndunungake apa iku kahane tata-tatarane wae. Dan saat ini karo kuwe barang spirit Pak sing arep kerjani ndunung-ndunungke iki jenenge apa, iki kanggone apa, iki ngujuke kanggone apa, iku jenang-jenange ujuk-ujukane iku kudune komplit karo sing ngrungokake wong sing njeluk. Arep tak sambung karo doa nek klenta-klentune ya kula nyuwun maaf karo sing sepuh karo sing anem sing nyakseni ning kene. Ya iki tak sambung karo doa ya sing kene sing seping dusun Taman Rejo mriki. Ingkang dipun lajengangi dumateng Bapak Poniman lan Ibu Fanyela lan si Jababai jenengan.
Not only shown to the public, there is also a culture that is well preserved until today. It's called Selapanan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin arrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin.
It's a ritual to cut a baby's hair once they are 30 days old. Erlis Sumiem is one of the traditional midwife in Taman Rejo area. She's been entrusted for tens of years to lead the Selapanan ritual. She said her parents inherited her with a skill. Selapanan ritual here is the same as the one in Java. Reciting prayers is what makes it different. Erlis said she was taught by her mother, Rugiam from Solo, Central Java, on how to recite the prayers. Along the way, she also finds the time to understand philosophy of the ritual through surfing the internet. Erlis also married a man of Javanese descent. She and her family also talk in Javanese in their daily communication. This afternoon, a number of children are concentrating on learning how to dance. Although a bit stiff, but they have strong will to learn Javanese dance. They are children of Java blood parents who lives in Suriname. There's a strong reason why parents wished their children to know the art passed on by their ancestors. It's here at the Indonesian Embassy in Suriname. They learn a number of arts facilitated by the embassy. The activity was highly welcomed by the Javanese people here. Not only practicing, they are also given the chance to perform with other performers in a number of activities. When the performing time comes, parents of children performing would help by putting makeup on the children. They also looked excited to perform tonight. Esther Porejo is one of many Suriname descendants wishing to preserve the Java art culture. This friendly lady said that she was raised by parents with Java language as a mother tongue. Esther once received a scholarship to study at one of Indonesia's state university.
Saya suka tarian Jawa karena menari itu seperti saya bisa lebih dekat dengan nenek moyang saya dan kebudayaan saya. Dan juga kalau saya menari itu sedikit seperti meditasi. Sebenarnya sudah ada di badan saya, di ilmu saya, di spirit saya, tetapi belum keluar, belum cetok. Ibaratnya mulai joget iku kaya ngene Mas. Aku krungu gending klentengan neng radio, itu mbiyen aku krungu neng radio Garuda TV. Terus aku krungu lagu klentengan, terus aku melu joget ngene-ngene. Terus aku gawe gerakan dhewe wae. Terus bapak lan ibu wiro. Terus bapak karo ibu ngomong menawa bocah iki gelem joget ana talent gitu. Terus minggu iku ITW wiro ada interview di televisi Garuda. Ada guru ibu kadek Susena di KBRI Paramaribo. Terus dia wawancara berbicara tentang KBRI Paramaribo, ada kelas dansa. Terus mulai hari itu saya ikut kelas nari di KBRI Paramaribo.
Esther also helped the children would understand and love more of Java art culture that they've been learning.
Oh, grup iki. Lama, kue melu langkah dansa neng grup bunga cinta toh. Lah keneng apa kue ora melu pentas kok cuma tok latihan wae. Yo, ikut babesing.
Kejarane piye, Lik?
Wah, saya kerjanya ya apik tenan, Pak. Kawit wingi kuwi aku mulai kerja ning apa iku jenenge radio, dadi penyiar radio Jawa Suriname.
Oh iya.
Ya,
Neng.
Ya.
Iku kerja iku ya nganu no. Gonta-ganti.
Iya, gonta-ganti karo kancane ora iso dhewe.
Bariki nang pasar ya?
Oh iya, Mak. Lah pasar no aku apa-apa. Golek-golek ya.
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 Iku biasane ning Suriname wong Jawa ya mesti apa iku gandrung kawin seneng karo wong Jawa. Tapi ning Suriname iki ana suku liya-liya kaya pawane ana Kelek, ana Ireng, ana Cina. Dadine sing seneng iki beda-beda. Gumantung keputukan sapa. Dadine yen arepe ning ndi keputukan umpamane keputukan wong Suriname basa Ireng ya seneng, ya mesti ya kawin karo basa iku. Dadine ya biyen ning Suriname iku ora apa iku ora sing wong tua orang tua iku ora gelem ngono. Sangka orang tua kudu kawin karo wong Jawa. Lah saiki wektune wis beda. Saiki arepe kawin karo sapa wae ya lila wong Jawa apa iku orang tuane.
Iki musim nang pasar mau tuku iwak sapi iki.
Iya.
Karo anu. Bong.
Iya tuku iwak sapi, Jawane iwak sapi larang. Piye? Kepengin iwak sapi ya perlu tuku. Ya ta, Pak?
Iya.
Ya to, Bu.
Pira sak kilo, Mak?
Sak kilo 200 punjul gitu.
Woi, larang ya.
Nah, tapi ya masih larang. Nggak pengen ya dituku.
Nah, iya, bukane iku.
Kerja jenis sing temen.
This young man said that he wanted to learn more of Java language. It was during COVID pandemic. He then was active as a content creator.
Aku Mas Moreno pengen banget sinau adat Jawa amarga ning Suriname iki sing nguri-nguri adat Jawa wis padha seda kabeh. Sing biyen nguri-nguri Jawa iku luwih akeh wong tuwa sing sepuh-sepuh. Lah saiki sing sepuh padha ninggal ora ana sing nerusake. Lah saiki aku ya duwe rasa yen kabudayaan Jawa utawa adat Jawa ning Suriname wis rada medun, ora ana sing nguri-nguri, oke. Lah iku tujuane anggone aku pengen nguri-nguri adat Jawa ning Suriname. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, teman-teman.
Same as Esther, Moreno was also raised by parents who speaks Javanese. He said that most people in Suriname are of Java descent who usually marry people from Java as well.
Budaya Jawa yen ndelokke 10 tahun meneh iso ilang. Amarga sing nguri-nguri kurang. Sing nguri-nguri basa Jawa iki kurang ning Suriname dadine iso ilang. Lah sing nyekel saiki kuwi ya uga menawa kliwat 10 tahun menawa ora ana meneh. Lan basa iki kudune dibutuhake. Yen ora duwe buta, ora iso diururi terus. Arepe pinter basa Jawa nek ora iso digunakake karo sapa-sapa, ya ora iso. Nanging ning Suriname ya ana apa iku kelompok-kelompok sing wenehi sinaon, pasinaon basa Jawa upamane kaya KBRI, upama kaya private ya iso belajar, tapi sing dianengake iku kudune apa iku sing jenengake dibutuhake, kudune dibutuhake. Upamane yen kowe ndek kelompok band yen ora dibutuhake ya bakal ilang. Iku ngono karo budaya Jawa.
Some wished to preserve it through cultural art, but some wanted to preserve the true values so that it does not disappear. Through several rituals or through symbols. Lurik cloth is one of the original cloth from Java. This becomes one thing that is highly valued by Edward Rejo Prawiro, who currently lives in Wanika district, Lelidoro. He, along with other Java descendants, still highly respect teachings from their ancestors. He told us how his ancestors were able to live in Suriname. It's actually a sad story to tell, he said.
There was very much resistance against the Javanese people. Because Javanese people, from their tradition, they are loyal, they are respectful, they're working hard, they don't like to complain. And they get problems with the other ethnic groups. And some of the stories and interviews of the Javanese people who left Suriname to Sumatra in 1954 with the Langkuas, with the ship Langkuas, 1,000 people, they went to Sumatra because they don't want to stay anymore in Suriname. Their motto, their expression, their oral expression was, it's better to die in poverty in Indonesia than to stay in Suriname. And that was one of the reasons why 1,000 people returned to Indonesia. There's many people were leaving their plantation and their workplace because they they were not accustomed with the hard work, with the bad treatment, and also with the problems they get with the other people. So that's why they wanted to return back to Indonesia.
Not only Java descendants, there are also Indonesian living here. One example is Roy Ong, who decided to open a food business in Suriname. This middle-aged man originates from Bandung, West Java. It was a long story to tell that ended up him being a Suriname citizen.
Ya, dulu waktu sampai di sini kita nomor satu merasakan, wah ini sama kayak Indonesia. Ya tidak sama, tapi nomor satu banyak orang Jawanya. Jadi sayang mereka tidak bisa bahasa Indonesia, jadi kita harus bisa belajar bahasa Jawa, tapi nggak susah. Dan klimatnya juga panas kayak Indonesia, musim hujan, musim panas. Sayur-sayur kurang lebih kayak Indonesia. Jadi kita sangat senang sekali, gembira dapat ini satu alternatif. Nggak bisa kembali ke Indonesia, ya ini saja sampai sekarang. Jadi sudah 50 tahun di sini. Ini kita buka Sarina tahun 74 bulan Oktober sampai sekarang ini tahun 2024 persis 50 tahun. Ya, orang tua saya sudah meninggal, adik-adik saya ada di Belanda, jadi saya sendiri di sini. Saya sendiri sudah 76 tahun, sudah cukup kerja. Jadi saya pasrahkan sama anak saya sekarang, Kevin.
lived in Brazil for 10 years, Roy Ong and his family finally moved to Suriname because he heard that many Java descendants lives there. That becomes one of the strong reasons why Roy Ong brought along his family to move. Business opportunity for his restaurant to grow was also a reason.
Dulu waktu kita mulai 50 tahun yang lalu, ibu saya masih itu tempo masih banyak orang Belanda, banyak orang Indo-Belanda yang tinggal di sini 50 tahun yang lalu. Jadi kita masakannya juga otentik, lebih orang masakan Indonesia, banyak pakai santan, banyak pakai tahu, tempe, banyak kayak Indonesia. Tapi sekarang, zaman sekarang ini tahun 2000 ke atas, orang-orang Suriname itu enggak begitu biasa kalau santan begitu. Dia orang masak juga pakai santan, tapi biasanya kalau pesta apa gitu. Jadi sehari-hari gitu makanannya sangat sederhana, yaitu soto, nasi, pecel gitu. Jadi sekarang kita boleh bilang kita punya restoran bukan otentik Indonesia lagi. Jadi boleh bilang masakan Suriname, Javans Suriname.
If the number of Suriname residents of Javanese descent rising, that leads to one question. How does the government there gives its appreciation as being part of a multicultural community?
So I studied in the University of Gajah Mada, that is in Yogyakarta, and it was a very good experience. As you know, Indonesia is part of my history because my ancestors, they came from Indonesia. I'm third generation Javanese in Suriname, and to go back and to see how my heritage is from where my great-great-grandfather came, it was very good to see how the Indonesians nowadays live, work, and it was a life-changing experience for me.
Javanese descendants is also part of the government structure in Suriname. Half of them even sits in strategic positions within the government.
Here in Suriname, the Javanese culture is very good. There are a lot of cultural organizations that are promoting the Javanese culture, the culture that our Simba brought 134 years ago. They are still living, but what we are also seeing is that the old people that has the knowledge are dying. So as Director of Culture, I have make a project to conserve those knowledge, to go to the people, to interview them, but also because Suriname has joined the UNESCO Convention 2003. So for us, it's very important that we implement that convention. And we are registering those intangible heritage. And like for now, for instance, there are a lot of old people who still has the knowledge. Talk about a simple selamatan. Young people now doesn't know what selamatan is and what's the meaning of it. So we had to record it, write it, but not only conserve it, but also to look in ways how to make it for them possible to get the information. So with now we are like in the digital period, so we are trying to make platforms to also upload them so everybody in the world can get the information that Suriname has a great, big community of Javanese people.
With the rising number of Javanese descendants also becomes a serious attention, meaning that it requires support in every field possible. This is what the Indonesian ambassador to Suriname has been providing for Suriname, giving facilities and support needed for Java descendants. Ethnic diversity that exists in Suriname is not far different from the one in Indonesia. Each ethnic group go about their daily lives in harmony.
KBRI sendiri selalu berusaha untuk mendukung pengembangan atau pemeliharaan pelestarian budaya Jawa ya dan Indonesia melalui program-program kegiatan di KBRI sendiri. Seperti kita mengadakan pelatihan gamelan. Kemudian juga membuka kursus tari. Tari-tarian Jawa, Indonesia, dan juga bahasa. Kita saat ini ada kursus bahasa Jawa di 3 tempat. Satu di Kedutaan Besar Republik Indonesia, dan satu lagi di Komowene, dan satu lagi di Lelydorp. Mereka pengajar-pengajarnya adalah masyarakat Jawa di sini, dan KBRI memberikan dukungan itu baik secara logistik maupun juga dukungan yang sifatnya training ya. Kita melakukan kerjasama juga dengan Telatah Waktu dari Indonesia untuk memberikan training online kepada guru-guru bahasa Jawa di sini. Jadi training for trainer. Bagaimana pengembangan ke depan ya tentu sangat tergantung pada antusiasme aktivitas para guru-guru bahasa Jawa di sini. Tapi kita berikan satu kesempatan peluang untuk melakukan pengembangan, dan kita bekerja sama dengan Telatah Waktu, guru bahasa Jawa dari Telatah Waktu secara online.